one thing I find most fascinating about our industry, definitely about Scotch, is that you do some algorithm and then you just leave millions of liters of liquid to age.
Yeah. I mean, 12 years, 18 years.
Yes.
For that one moment where I will cheers with you during my celebratory moment.
Yeah. For an icon to really open itself up, to say that, you are a creator, you are a bold boundary pusher, you want to reimagine and reframe your context.
Correct.
We will enable you.
Superb, yaar.
And that's the core of Keep Walking, and we will inspire everybody to
100%.
to continue to keep walking.
Welcome to another episode of Mashable Mornings. I'm in Godawan and we are really honored to have female business leaders on our show. And today on our episode, we have Shweta Jain, the Chief Business Development Officer of Diageo India. And we're going to talk about not just a journey, but also understand about their latest initiative, Walkers & Co., to realize what John Legend is going to be doing when he's down in India and understand how he keeps walking. Hello Shweta Jain,
Hello.
welcome to Mashable Mornings.
Absolutely a pleasure to be here.
Yay, thank you. आप लोग सुन रहे हैं मैडम चीफ बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट ऑफिसर ऑफ डियाजियो इंडिया को, और जानेंगे उनकी इंसाइट एंड जर्नीज के बारे में, है ना?
Lot of journeys, lot of keep walking.
Yeah, always celebrating life everywhere, every time.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, that's
I have been talking to this woman in the background, and I will tell you that I'm trying to figure where this energy and the raw, millennialist thought process is coming from, madam.
I am, the great thing about our kind of work is that you get to live a little of every kind of age that you are either talking to through your brands, or even and the other advantage of being a mom of a teenager,
that's where the Gen Z understanding is coming from.
That you almost, you as much as you want to role model them, you
Correct.
see what are they, and you become a reflection of them also.
Let's roll it back a little and understand very, very first at the get-go, because you're on Mashable Mornings.
Yeah.
Do you have a morning routine?
Yes.
You do?
I love mornings because I think that is an investment into myself. So mornings are a me time for me. And I am an early morning person on weekdays.
तो कितने बजे, मतलब 5?
5:30.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. और जैसे उम्र हो जाती है तो थोड़ा body clock is always waking you up.
Yeah.
You're not dependent on the alarm to ring.
Superb,
some of it is natural.
No matter how late you've celebrated till?
Yes, I must. There is this little bit of a legend in my college gang that I would drive everybody back from a late night, and yet I would be up at in the early morning hours.
Oh wow, you're that woman.
I may go back to sleep, whatever, but I do end up. Yeah.
But ye batao, I read something about you that fascinates me the most. You said you're a dot connector.
Yes.
That's very simple yet very profound.
Yes.
Please explain what a dot connector does.
So I always believe that there are either as data, right? In all our lives we use data. We may realize it or not.
Yeah.
Or as even human beings, we bring in either domain expertise or depth or verticalness to
a bunch of things,
and also there are energies, and then there are people who need to be complemented or supplemented with that. So I have always enjoyed in connecting those kind of diverse pieces or data points.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to work, I'm not the kinds who will rattle कि अच्छा इतना % ये वो implication निकाल लें और उसके बाद what does it imply? I can talk about that. And similarly, I am able to, and I've always enjoyed that part, that I'm able to connect people to people, or strength to strength, or even a strength to weakness, so that the sum total of it leads to some kind of an enhancement for those two individual parts.
No, it's very deep. Yeah, I think they'll have to play it back again to kind of fully understand what I've understood. But the second bit, which I am fully very, very fascinated and kind of want to learn from you is, and I'm constantly evolving as a human being also. So this question is for the inclusion evangelist, because For me, it's a time that we are moving into that people are not even understanding that, you know what, right now you're just looking at the feminine force coming into the play.
Yeah.
But look at all genders kind of coming and wanting to ask for what their rights going to be.
Yeah. So, you know, it is very topical, right?
Yeah.
Inclusion is very topical, and we all, possibly our generation, and maybe I can include you a little bit.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
In that generation, I know.
No, but like I'm an old soul.
Yeah, so an old soul, but I'm just saying the time was such that that the definition or dimensionalization of inclusion is very एक singular है कि जी आपने women inclusivity. अरे भाई, inclusion as a whole thing is not just about one kind of inclusion, right?
Yeah.
Inclusion is about diverse views, and that's why even when I hire, even in my team or the people I want to work with, you can have diversity of views, you can have diversity of gender, you can have diversification of races, you can have diversification of thought process, and in a country such as ours, even there is diversification of food.
100%, यार.
है ना, मतलब एक दाल है अरहर की which has 15 iterations. So मेरा ये मानना है कि inclusion is not just about one agenda. Inclusion is openness to accept diversity of very many kinds. I'm actually quite fortunate that I work in a place where we were very so Diageo was very forward into including. I mean, we are a company which has a menopause support group in the global Diageo network.
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I feel, that if you are ahead in the journey of evolution of inclusion, then why not
be the brand speak to become that, yeah.
Become that for people who are still learning.
It's a dangerous stance, ma'am, but like it's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
We will get to talking about your journey. Okay,
Yes.
I'm really fascinated about how an account executive goes on to becoming the chief business development officer.
Yeah, account executive also. I took up consciously after MBA.
हाँ जी.
I thought कि advertising में जाते हैं.
ठीक
तो
है.
सब जा रहे थे. You know how the classic code of an MBA person works, right?
Yeah.
And बहुत funny था क्योंकि मेरे time पे when I did my MBA, there were not many girls in the batch. So that has both the advantages and disadvantages.
Let me know. No. I have to tell them that. We have researched enough to know that there were 150 men to 9 women.
Yeah.
What sort of a ratio is that even?
That was the early 2009, late 90s campuses.
That's
Most campuses, I think. Coming to that, I think the
mindset.
small town mindset that I applied was if I go in advertising, then I'll get to learn in parallel about 2-3 different categories.
100%.
ठीक है, आप एक FMCG में चले गए या आप एक बैंकिंग में चले गए तो आपको उसी का वो आएगा. So I think that was a
Great
real, अब तब नहीं समझ में आता था, but it was a big foresight, I feel, because that early years in advertising really I was like a sponge and I soaked in this whole amazing energy of brand building to different consumers, in different ways. So that was it, and then somewhere down the line I felt that it would be absolutely great to from the decision seeker to become a decision maker. And
all advertising folks are very jealous of you when you move from advertising to brand.
And my early career was very incestuous because I worked in an agency, then I went to Gillette, which used to be a client. Then from there I went back to advertising, and then I again went into a client. So I really enjoyed that phase of my career. And last many years, especially in Diageo, has been again a very different kind of boundary pushing, as I said. I took up a role which was more commercial in nature, and I'd never done that much of what we call classic sales at the same time of demand creation kind of a role. Really very diverse, but I pushed myself to say that why should I not get out of my comfort zone and 100%. Get into that. And then we've come thus far, and where a lot of work that we've done it has reframed premiumization, has reframed our category. Even as India is opening up in very many diverse ways. So मजा आ रहा है, चल रही है गाड़ी.
Yeah, but I think I've always thought that our nation loves single malts, no?
Yeah, our nation has always loved finer things. Maybe we are never conscious of it.
Yeah.
मैं तुमको बता रही हूँ, मैं किसी भी ग्लोबल फोरम में जाती हूँ ना, वो बात करते हैं कि bespoke, made to measure. हमने कहा हमारा तो कल्चर ही यही है यार. हम वही लोग हैं जो अपने लिए कोट बनवाते हैं, राइट? वी कम फ्रॉम देयर. सो आई फील हमारे यहाँ बहुत सारा अप्रिसिएशन और आर्टिकुलेशन may not have come, but our category is actually a living breathing example of that.
Yeah. हम स्वाद वाले लोग हैं यार.
हम स्वाद वाले लोग हैं. और आप you will be amazed, you know, there are parts of India you go, and when we do our advocacy session, the sheer knowledge, the appreciation की कौन सी distillery, why is Johnny Walker Black Label
or
so
Red Label
distinct?
Yeah, they know that difference.
They know that difference. They know that, you know, why the Singleton and Lagavulin have distinctive this thing.
Of
they
course.
Understand repertoire. So it's actually
those
quite
bottles
amazing.
I love. I just love the bottles only. Like, you know, you love a Red Label and Black Label in your sleep sometimes,
Yes,
but like
yeah.
a Singleton bottle is a bottle.
Is a bottle.
Yeah.
Singleton bottle is
Correct.
an amazing this thing. So yeah, so I think Indians do love their finer things. It's just about you know, having those conversations, and they also love a new thing. So they are always looking at, you know, newer narratives, newer expressions coming in, and I think we feel privileged that we have a wide portfolio.
Correct.
And that's when I wanted to chat with you on, you know, when you have a portfolio like ours.
Hold on, I'll just 1 second pause. So just to explain to you all, some of my favorite spirits, and I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to endorse you all like that, but like Tanqueray is what is in the cabinet for my wife. Always, it's a given.
Yeah.
She's become a whiskey person.
Unmistakably Tanqueray.
Yeah, 100%. Unmistakably, she's that.
Yeah.
I've just recently tried the Johnny Walker Blonde.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm going to have you give me the Godawan.
Yes, yeah, you have to taste the Godawan, and I want to. I with you, I wanted to chat about the creator piece that we are driving on that.
Because we've done the Bombay journey with Rajakumari recently, and what a fabulous woman she is.
Yeah.
But the portfolio for everybody, apart from the labels that we've just quoted for you, also happens to have Captain Morgan and Smirnoff. So like, it's a very diverse kind of, you know, all different spirits that different people will like differently.
Actually, quite iconic spirits as well.
Yes.
I mean, Guinness is also ours.
Guinness is yours.
Yeah, and then there is the what is currently your age is Don Julio and Casamigos. So yeah, we and Baileys. Have you
of course.
Ever had
the strawberry one?
Yeah,
of
the strawberries in
course.
So what I was coming to is that when you have a portfolio like that, you're bound to get complacent. It is very this thing, but I think that's the beauty of some of the work that we've done, and we've said that how can we keep pushing boundaries, and I was really looking forward to share with you how Godawan came into being, and Godawan is our is when some of us in the Diageo India team sat down and said that what if we were to think like creators and founders, right? What if we did not have the complacency of a fantastic portfolio that we have? What would we do? And we realized that Indian craftsmanship and artisanship is finding its expression in all categories.
True,
you know, you have wonderful fashion brands, you have fantastic food and beverage brands,
Correct.
and you have you have hospitality
so you went
brands.
made in India.
So we said that okay, we will make a single malt and we will celebrate the provenance and terroir of Rajasthan.
Yeah.
Now, what is conventionally referred to as, you know, this beautiful sub-degree temperatures में whiskey बनता है, single malt वहाँ बनता है. Imagine what happens to that liquid when it is aging in Rajasthan.
Oh.
So yeah, so the single malt that is Godawan is finished in casks which are aging in Rajasthan, where temperature goes 100 degree Fahrenheit.
I don't understand the dynamics of that. Like I'm trying to apply the physics here.
So anybody who loves the single malt, has always romanced it in, it takes time,
Yes,
it takes
12 years, 18 years.
18 years, but it ages in cold terrain, right?
Correct,
in
exactly.
Scotland, in this thing. But the whole wonders of whiskey or single malt is how the liquid interacts with the wood.
Correct.
Right? And now imagine
I was getting to the barrel question.
So barrel aging in Rajasthan, the alchemy that happens is completely different.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's quite a bold thing to do, right? Because you lose liquid also. The reason single malts are expensive and so valued because when you age them, you lose the liquid, which is called angel share.
Correct.
So in Rajasthan, you can imagine how much of it is
going you're losing a bunch as well.
into the
angel share.
Yeah, angel share. So I think the way we went ahead and created it, and the way we are taking it, from we call it the spirit of the desert, and the way we are taking it, it's been quite an incredible thing.
You took it to Cannes as well, I heard.
Yes, we took it. We said that why should we do a step-by-step piece to say that why not launch it in the most famous red carpet of the world?
Yeah.
And make India pride moment even bigger.
Superb,
right?
yes.
So it was 75th year of India's of Cannes, and so they were celebrating India as a
100 years of cinema.
So we went and took it there, and so yeah, that's been amazing that to be in a big corporate but be able to think like a founder, to think like a creator. And
I think that's great. Yeah, I think for companies to be being able to create entrepreneurs like entrepreneurs would, that's amazing. So tell us a little about the, when the journey is happening and you're doing newer things. You can hit like ceilings, and you can be like complacency can set in. How are you then innovating to kind of do better, bigger things, or innovating then in that aspect?
So I will exemplify this with one of the most exciting thing that I think has happened in for a brand to do.
Yeah.
For a brand to do, and then try to draw an analogy with myself over there. तो क्या है कि when you are a 200-year-old brand, right, which is part of normal lingo, right? आपको कुछ भी होता है ना, you I'm sure तुम्हारे साथ भी हुआ होगा कि you are with a friend who's not had a good day, or you've not, तो बोलता चल रहे भाई कोई नहीं, keep walking, right? This is so when you
become colloquial.
Colloquial, like there are more cars in Bangalore which have the striding man, the Johnny Walker sticker.
I don't even know how that happened.
Then possibly number plates also are on a certain thing. So when you are that, right, when you have had 200 years of amazing plain culture. I mean, dude, we are a country which had in the 1950s, we had a person who changed his name to Johnny Walker, right? So when you are there, and when you are a team which is which is responsible for imagining
for such pop culture defining moments.
For pop culture defining moments, ये आपका चला रहा है, right? ये आपका history है, right? And you and my team, the many of us who work on the brand, can you imagine the
difficult position
that you all are in? That how do you define the next many years of a brand
of this
in a market which like literally worships it, in a country which
you have a money cadre also. I used to be this label guy, now I'm a this label guy, now I'm a this label guy.
So yeah, there are very many deep cultural referencing that you play in, right? And then you come at a juncture where you're like, acha, ab next generation, how will the next set of what we call people who are entering into the relevant cohort are going to look at this brand? And that's when we all sat inside, and we obviously it's a global icon which was reinventing itself as we were going into that. And then we said that the very community that makes this brand so iconic, how does the brand open itself up to let them participate in the philosophy, in the culture? And that's when we came up with this idea of actually going out there and creating a open community platform, and we named it Walkers & Co.
Oh, super.
And Co stands for co-creation, collaboration, community. So all the important coming together part of it is what the co stands for, and we've committed to creating a platform where you are a creator of anything, right? You have a creator mindset. You may be a very celebrated creator.
Yeah.
You have a platform which is inspired from this philosophy of 2 words, which is keep walking, and we will enable that. So it as now exists as a community handle, but we are beginning to make it show up in defining culture moments. So we just partnered with, or we got Hanif Qureshi from the famous street art. I mean, he's so inspiring that, he allowed a generation to reclaim the streets. He democratized art for many of us to
100%.
Appreciate it in
thank you Hanif
space.
Thank you Yogesh Saini, thank you Ranjit Daya, all of y'all are amazing.
Yeah. So we said we started this journey with somebody like him, with somebody like Sushant Devika,
Rani Kohinoor.
Mm-hmm. So inspiring.
And you have more Ranis coming in, which is basically Raja Kumari.
We have Raja coming in, and then of course we have the
OG, the
EGOT legend, and it was so
John
amazing.
John Legend.
John Legend is coming to India on a bespoke in-concert tour.
That's giving me goosebumps, legit.
And that's the Walkers & Co tour. So can you imagine how amazing we feel as a brand that we are bringing such amount of diversity, and we were talking about inclusion at some point in time. So for an icon to really open itself up, to say that you are a creator, you are a bold boundary pusher, you want to reimagine and reframe your context.
Correct.
We will enable you.
Superb, yaar.
And that's the core of keep walking, and we will inspire everybody to
100%.
to continue to keep walking.
No, I think it gives a lot of courage to other creators also who are trying to come up and just like do whatever they want to do.
Yes.
Express their creativity and whatever their expression may be.
Yeah.
In any format.
Yeah.
And this gives them wings and makes them be where they are wanted.
And which is where, for me, it is about being an inclusion enabler.
Yeah.
Via your brands.
So you're the inclusion evangelist. Perfect. It ties it all together.
Via your brands, via your work, or as a this thing. So I think it's absolutely exciting. It's a big responsibility.
It is.
To imagine the footprints of a brand which has been so embedded in big cultural moments in
Across
the world over.
Yeah.
To give it a dimension in India, and I think Walkers & Co is what is the beauty of a place like Diageo, that you can get into these kind of things.
So what are you doing to unwind? What do you do for fun?
Oh, I have always had a separate bank account for travel.
Really?
Yeah.
What is this newfound knowledge wisdom you're giving me? I'm a big traveler.
हाँ, तो जब मैं account executive थी, तब से एक ये नई वो थी कि एक कॉर्पस होना चाहिए टू एक्सप्लोर, राइट? तो बहुत ज़्यादा आई ऑलवेज हैव, जब मैं कहीं से आ रही होती हूँ तो आई नीड टू हैव द नेक्स्ट वन in sight or in horizon.
Yeah, you're right. I'm that person as well.
Are you that person?
I'm really perturbed right now because my London trip may not be happening.
Oh.
So I'm like, where to then?
That's so मेरा ये है कि भाई जहाँ से आ रहे हो तो उसका अगला वो होना चाहिए कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा सा.
So tell me this, how hard is it to market an aspirational or a luxury product?
It is the process to story tell it is not hard, but the creation of a storytell worthy proposition, product, and the whole experience is hard. It requires the kind of detailing which जैसे वो बोलते हैं ना कि अरे keep it simple is the simple. जब वो बन जाता है तो it looks like a simple
thing. But there's so much math that went behind it.
But there is so much of meticulousness and the detail that goes, and which is what creates more value over there. So one thing I find most fascinating about our industry, definitely about Scotch, is that you do some algorithm and then you just leave millions of liters of liquid to age.
Yeah. I mean, 12 years, 18 years.
Yes.
For that one moment where I will cheers with you during my celebratory moment.
Yeah. So
It took so much effort.
Yeah, and somebody's thinking they're doing the art science of putting that much of liquid into aging. And similarly with stuff like, tequila, I mean, it's a agave plant, which takes 6 years to even take shape. And then, it gets into a bottle. But so I think a lot of luxury, what we perceive as luxury, is very subjective in everybody's mind. So how do you consistently, kind of bring that subjectivity meter in your favor, even as brands or even as people or as an experience is like a lot of hard work.
How did you learn so much about spirits in general? Tell me about the process, because I'm sure you must have walked in day one. What was that like versus what you're today?
So inherent curiosity, and I think I have a weakness towards aesthetics.
Really?
Yeah.
Or you're a perfectionist?
No, I'm not a perfectionist, but I like to do even simple things well.
Fair. Very good.
Right.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's nothing wrong in that.
Yeah. So वो करने में क्या, when I started in spirits, because I had worked in advertising, so you were, as I said, you get into under the things, right? When you are in advertising, the category was very, very nascent. There was so much of social norms and stigma attached to it, and then as you start understanding the world of alcohol, it is, as I said, it is all about an emotional moment that it features in, right? Happiness, sad, like you said, so जैसे तुम बोल रहे थे कि घर जाओ बैठे हो तो our category is right there. That's an everyday moment, and at the same time you have some special moments where you will
also
pop up on a blue label or so I think I absolutely many around me, I think we all learned that it's actually storytelling more than
that's what I was getting to. You basically picked up on stories and picked up on the truest culture that you all only have created. So, and
it's about participating in those moments of culture moments and creating them. So that's how it is.
Was it difficult to allocate time definitively? Key boss, this is when I will shut off and this is when the family time begins? I think small little acts, like you will be amazed. Most of my colleagues and the whole world is amazed that I don't have official mail on my phone. What, Gmail नहीं है आपके पास?
Gmail है,
हाँ,
जो official mail है
वो नहीं खुला है,
फोन पे नहीं है।
ओह, कभी भी नहीं है, रहता ही नहीं है।
कभी नहीं रहता।
ये कैसे हुआ?
उसका अलग डिवाइस है।
ओह।
और आज तक कभी मतलब normally it's not that कि no emergency or something. I've always managed that. So थोड़ा सा अपने आप को वो markers create करने पड़ते हैं. I always feel that, and
this is a great learning here.
Yeah, it's just a thing because I told you when I get into a thing, then I get into that, right? So when you are sensitized to your own behavioral patterns, then
you're safeguarding yourself.
Then you're safeguarding yourself to
Very
say
nice.
that यार ये करना है.
So you must have had these moments where you've had tough days, and you keep walking then, and you have these other days when you're having good days and you keep walking there, and you will be continuing to keep walking. How does this philosophy come about?
So tough days and tough phases are very much part of all our lives, right, over there. And I think the only thing that always works in my case is that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel part of a thing. It might sound very cliched, but I think you look at how many privileges that you have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a funny, you might call it funny, but I have a very simple but simple philosophy that everything is an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Everything has an opportunity cost. So if you are down and out and whatever, there are certain choice making that you have to make, and then that's how you keep walking. So you improvise with your choices, but you keep choosing one over the other, and that's how you just keep.
आपने बहुत simply बोल दिया.
Yeah.
A constant evolution that a man or a woman needs to, or any gender needs to look at, and then
Yeah.
the light at the end of the tunnel is a very positive one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think it is. There is a flicker there, and then you just choose route A or route B to find the light over there. So
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Tell me this: Are you somebody who would invest in a person or in the business?
I invest in a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, person. People make businesses.
True. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. People make teams. People make businesses. People also make brands, and people also make businesses. So I'm a big believer in the human truth. Everything comes down to human. Even technology, I know AI might take over one day, and it's all there for us to see. But it's again everything boils down to human beings. We created it.
True, 100%.
So yeah.
I think Walkers & Co is superb as an initiative. If there are creators watching this, how can they come up and be a part of the whole thing?
Yes, so if you go and follow Walkers & Co on Instagram, you write to us.
Yeah.
We are unraveling Walkers and how Walkers & Co is an enabler in our step-by-step pieces.
Okay.
So some of you might see there that how we got Fogut and Hanif together.
Yes.
And we're just dropping a sneaker line over there. Similarly, if you have an idea which is all about, which has got sustainability at its core, we'll work with you. We'll give you that platform.
Oh, super.
Raja Kumari, as you met her a few days
and
back.
She's been on the Baba Journey.
So she'll be traveling beyond the concert that she's putting together with John Legend.
Super.
And we are talking to each of the walker that is there on the platform currently for how they will enable the next round of creators.
Oh, wow.
So watch that space, and there is a big piece coming in for further enabling and continue to
thank you
keep
so much.
walking off.
Keep passing the bait and keep walking.
Keep passing the bait. And so I did speak about how we envisage that if you are there, how will you enable others to get there as well?
Yeah.
So that's the role of the walkers that are there on the platform. So
cool.
One by one, they will
love it. Awesome. Looking forward to everything that you all are doing. Good, fun.
So good to have done this. Now what they call it here?
Gedi. Of course.
So I have done a Gedi after like many years.
Really?
So absolutely मजा आ गया. Like really.
Very cool. मुझे तो 4 चीज सीखने को मिली. And I take the Godawan bottle back.
Yes,
I'm
your
very happy.
Godawan bottle is coming.
Thank you so much for being on the Mashable Morning show.
Great to have chatted and exchanged and learn, as we said, collaborate and learn, co-learn.
Yeah, you're now a creator like us, and you've collaborated, and that's what it is. That's just the truth of us. Thank you so much.
See you. Thanks for doing this.
Gedi. Say it, signing off.
Bye-bye.